name's Anthony, and I'm from the Glass House Hotel in Kathmandu, and I'm with two friends of mine who were former guests in our hotel back in March 2019, and I'm now in their home in Belgium, in Bruges in fact.
Welcome. Welcome.
And this is Dorine and this is Peter.
Hello.
Hi.
And Dorine and Peter have been coming to Nepal for many years, and I think for you it was beginning in
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
And Peter, when was the first time?
This was my first time.
In 2019.
2019 was my first time.
Oh,
Yes.
Peter's playing catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, so Dorine, you must have persuaded Peter to come to Nepal. How did you manage to persuade him to come to Nepal? What was it that fascinated, and what was it that you were going to encourage Peter to come and do and experience?
For me, I fell in love with Nepal. For the first time I been there, immediately I fell in love. Well, I hadn't got too much persuasion to do.
No, in fact, the reason, well, there were several reasons, but the reason when I, at the moment, said, well, I'd like to go to Nepal, I'd like to see this, is Dorine had been there many times, and she had all kinds of pictures everywhere, and I sorted them just by year, and
That's true. Yeah.
and I saw all these different stages about how the villages were, and about the people, and what she also, and I, not especially the big buildings, but how it was really with the people.
Yeah.
That I said, well, she came home from work, and I said, that's what I want to see. We have to do this together. This is the place I want to see with my own eyes. I have this idea of how it is in Nepal.
Well, I've discovered that you've got an absolute passion of photography.
Yes.
So looking through Dorine's photos and everything must have been a joy. But then again, at the same time, you must have felt, I want to take some of my own pictures of Nepal and to do it for myself and to be able to expand upon what you've already got to play with.
Yeah, in a way it was. I was curious about what, I knew what Nepal had done to Dorine all these years, and there are many tourists every year, so I didn't go there to think, well, I'm going to make that perfect picture of Monkey Temple, for example. I was thinking, what is Nepal doing to me? How is it going to change me, and how do I feel? How do I feel in that country, in that environment? And that's what I tried to photograph, the feelings, what excited me, what struck me, whatever. And that's what I tried to photograph.
And so, okay, so for Dorine, how did the country, if it's possible, how could you describe the country impacted upon you? What kind of impact, how did it move you over these years?
For me, I like the culture a lot, and the buildings and the nature, but what affected me most was the people, the joy, the way of living, accepting the life and the friendship. Like I said earlier, it was just like coming home in a strange way. I felt comfortable immediately. People embraced me the moment I got there. So for me, it's mostly the people.
And for you, Peter, taking photos and being there in Nepal, what was the thing that you were either to capture on film or capture in your heart and your mind? As you said, how was Nepal going to affect you?
Well, it affected me a lot, because before we left for Nepal, I was home from a burnout from almost a year. So I knew I had to change the way I was thinking here in this Western society, in trying to do more than I'm able to, and I needed to get out of this complete rat race, and so my doctor said, well, you should go on a trip, and that was the ideal opportunity to go to Nepal, and that's what I found. I mean, Kathmandu can be crowded, but it can also be very home-like, where the speed of how people live and what they do isn't to the top of things. It's on a human base. People take the time to stop and talk to you and tell you about their lives and ask you about yours, and that's what mostly affected me.
So would you say, despite the fact that Nepal then is working and running at a slower pace than what you might expect in Europe, but would you say that the country is diverse and the things that you can do and the things that you can see in Nepal are of so much variety?
Yes, they are, because we, in our short trip from only a few weeks, had such a big variety of things you could do and you could see in just, and it helps. It really helped for us to have a guide who open doors and to get you to enter things and meet people that you normally shouldn't have if you just stop at the airport and try your own way. I think it's really a good thing if you have some of the local people help you. But the variety of things from the crowded city of Kathmandu, with all its varieties of people and things to do, to the trips up to the mountain and the whole way up to it was for me an eye-opener. It was really, it made the trip really special, because it's not just one thing. You can get a wide range of things you can do in Nepal.
I think I know what you mean. I mean, I've lived in Kathmandu and I've lived in Nepal and I've lived in Pokhara and I've lived in Nepal for more than 10 years. And during those 10 years, I've not once been to Mount Everest. I've been to many other places other than Mount Everest.
Yeah.
A lot of people associate Nepal only with Mount Everest. But you've been to several places with Deepak, my partner from the hotel, and it's anything but Mount Everest.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many other things to see and do that are more at ordinary level. And Mount Everest is not the only thing that Nepal should be famous for. Its hospitality, its food, its culture, its rich diversity in the topography of the country is an amazing, amazing experience, second to none. And that you've traversed quite a bit of it now.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
And you have plans, future plans?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Are you going to come back and visit us again?
As soon as possible for me.
Well, as you know, Anthony, we have small children in the house, so
You have.
everyone is waiting till the youngest reaches an age where she can go on a trip for that long, and it's not the time we spend in Nepal that will be the problem for her. It's mostly the plane over there that takes a long time. But we plan to come back to you, so write it down. Come back to you in at least 2 years.
Yeah.
We will be there with the whole family in the glass house.
Yeah.
Well, we will most certainly be there in 2 years' time to welcome you. And as I know and as I feel sitting here in your home and not in the Glasshouse Hotel in Kathmandu, I feel very much at home in your home.
Well, thank
And
you very much.
I really appreciate the fact that you felt very at home with us, with Deepak and Sita and the children and myself and everything. We become much more than just guests and hoteliers. This is a wonderful thing that I look forward to in 2 years' time, to challenge you to come back with some of the children.
Yeah.
And this time you won't be coming back as a guest.
Oh,
that's
it's a great thing to hear. And make sure we will surely come back. We want to meet Deepak again, want to meet Sita again, because they really made us part of the family, and that's one of the things that struck us about the Glasshouse Hotel. It's a hotel, but we really felt at home.
Like home.
Yes, and
Well,
so we would love to come back.
It is our home, and we're so happy that you stayed with us for as long as you did and made it your home. And this home, its doors are always open to you at any time, and we welcome you with open arms. And for everybody else that hasn't been to Nepal, and that is yet to come to Nepal, we would also welcome you as we've welcomed Peter and Dorine, and hope that you would also learn and appreciate and come to love, as I have, this wonderful part of the world that is in Asia, and a truly loving people, the same people that Dorine and Peter have come to know and come to appreciate over all these years, and that and in doing so we all become richer and benefit from this greater knowledge that we have for one another. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your feelings. And we can't wait to see you back again in Nepal, but for now here in Bruges, in Belgium. Good evening.
Good evening. And like I say, namaste.
And namaste.